experience with the fans?
My what?
Strangest experience?
People who came to my table found out my strangest autograph ever, which was at a convention, and very attractive person a woman in a short skirt came up and said, "Would you be willing to sign me?" And I said, I'm here to sign. So she came to my side of the table and lifted her short skirt, and so that definitely is up there with the strangest.
What did you write?
Just my name, and if she went to the tattooer from there, I may be embedded in somebody's lower extremities.
Do you have any advice for people that are just getting started into voice acting?
Lots, and I am starting to teach a class the week after I get back. I would direct you to my CD, and I am making good on all proceeds will go to the 2010 fund. And on there, first of all, going to the earlier question, the focus is on acting. If you really, and this is a lot to be entrusted with, are able to jump into that material, accept everything that you're the detective and they've given you all of these clues. They've given you physical clues. They've given you behavioral clues. They've given you what you say. They've given you all of these things that you have to assemble and scramble in your brain. And ultimately, when you really have done that work, and so much so that you now know more about that character than the person that wrote it, or the person that drew it, not saying that you don't require them. Of course, everybody requires each other, but now, and I'm not trying to get all spiritual about it, but you have the opportunity to give this drawing in words a third dimension. And if you're telling the truth, it'll ring true. If you really understand the point of view of that character, it's not a voice they're casting, it's a character that they're casting. It's a realized three-dimensional character. And if it's a ridiculous world, it'll get more ridiculous with your help. If it's an epic battle, it'll become more epic with your help. Whatever it is, it'll become richer, deeper, and more believable with your help, and you have to understand that, and then jump in. At some point, you just jump in. And like I said, they let most of us, and I mean, the working community in Los Angeles is a fairly smallish group of people by comparison to the on-camera community. Toronto, I'm assuming the same thing. Vancouver, the same thing. But those people who are doing it continue to get called because no one gets in trouble for calling them in. You know that whatever they do will be interesting, and that anybody who comes in theoretically could be right for it. Somebody will be more right that day for that part, at least in the eyes or ears of the person who's listening. So it's like that. It's just total commitment like anything else. And if you're not passionate about it, don't do it, because there's a lot of people who are. And if you think that you should do a voice tape of characters that already exist, don't. It's about what you bring to the party, not what's already there. All of those people, including me, are already there. Figure out what it is that's unique about you, and that'll be sought after. That'll stand out. It's not an occupation where you can be in the chorus. You either stand out or you don't stand. One will rise, one will fall. Mark? I just had a daydream standing in front of a whole room full of people.
When you voice a character, do you keep some kind of representation of that character? For instance,
Oh, no worries.
big.
I think what you're trying to ask is,
Okay. Do you...
have you ever been struck by lightning, sir? I think you have an
Okay, can I
electromagnetic...
just get another microphone? Is it? It's working for me. What is going on?
It's him, it's not you.
Do you keep some kind of representation of that character, like a statue or a picture or something?
I'm not a collector per se, but I would say I keep more of a mental image. And what I did learn in conservatory and voice and speech class way back then was, if you can, to try to keep some kind of a key sentence for a character. For Outback, I remember there are certain vowel sounds that distinguish Australia. If I say certain vowel sounds, it puts me in that frame of mind. There's a play with a Scottish character who says, "I didn't get how Davy got word to the lassies, but whenever we landed." So it goes like that. I just hear a little of that. Yeah, no, exactly. But good enough for shop work. So I do that in my head. I admire collectors, but I'm not a collector. However, I have been the recipient of many incredible gifts from people who give them so generously and with such sincerity that I keep, treasure, and value. And I was just gifted with such a gift today. Actually, several over the course of the weekend. Some of them deeply personal to the person who gave them. One of them a magnificent masterpiece, Grimlock, today. I'm floored by people's generosity, and I will always be floored by people's generosity. However, it doesn't require a material gift. I am also humbled by some things that people have said to me about how much what I did meant to them. I was introduced by someone who said, "I'm going to bring on stage the man who made me late for school every morning and the man who made me skip last period class so I could get home when they were on in the afternoon." That's a huge deal and means everything to me.
Who's got the next question? Any hands? I'm just going to throw one at you, Greg, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What do you think, I mean, with the community, you've probably heard stories, but Grimlock's a pretty big and popular character for a lot of us. Why do you think that is? What is it about Grimlock do you think makes him so popular?
I think that's a good question. I don't know that I can answer it, save for the fact that some of the lines that I've been entrusted with, people never forget them. I hope it had something to do with the way I said them. It certainly had something to do with the person who wrote them, and certainly something to do with the person who approved them, but you know.
Cesium salami, beryllium bologna.
Why do we remember? We don't know.
Petro rabbits.
All of a sudden they're real.
Cubs war stories.
Well, who doesn't want to hear them now? I mean, it was like that, and I don't know why it's like that. It is because it is.
I think you hit on a good point there, and sorry, it's going to go into a little bit of a combo. You are responsible for bringing him to life. You are Grimlock. Now, on pen, paper, in comics, you know, it's just black and white, but you put the personality in, which I think is why we love him so much.
And I think he brought, everybody brought an innocence to that character that also is very appealing in that world of warriors. Not that he's not a warrior, but he sees things more simply, and sometimes that makes that train of thought more fun to follow.